Well, hey, isn't that crazy? I'm wearing the exact same shirt as the ending of the last video. That's how we do it here in YouTube land. So I ended the last video right now, obviously. So I'm starting a new one. This video is my actual talk that I did at the Farm Where You Live event, Harvest Festival. It was this past weekend now when I'm telling you, but it will still be the weekend. You'll still see this. Okay. But that's not the point. I did my talk on envy on the homestead and how it has no place. But also, I talked about building community. I was super nervous. First time I've ever really spoken in front of a group. I actually had people show up. But the most important thing that happened to me that weekend and before this whole talk, I did a little commercial. All right, we'll catch you in the next one. What's up, y'all? This is Jesse from Willowbrook Homestead. So, just want to jump on here and let you know I'm coming to the Farm Where You Live Harvest Festival. We're going to be talking about envy, the fact that it has no place on the homestead, and the importance of building community and the people that you surround yourself with. So I hope you come out, support the event. It's going to be great. There's a lot of great other speakers. So just come out, have a good time, and enjoy yourselves. To the people putting on the Harvest Festival, like they asked me to, just to explain who I am and what I'm going to be talking about. So all the speakers spoke on the second day. It was Sunday. I was the last speaker to speak. There's 4 different areas. I spoke at 4 o'clock. Lisa and Charlie spoke at 4 o'clock. So we were all like the last ones to go. All weekend, I'm kind of just like doubting myself. I'm doubting my ability to do it. I'm doubting if I want to do it. I'm doubting if anybody's going to be there. I'm just really being hard on myself and putting myself down, which I kind of talk about in the talk. And so 30 minutes. Well, actually, first off, Saturday, Raquel from Legacy Home and Garden, she stopped me, and she came up to me and she was like, "I know you're gonna do great. I know you're gonna touch someone's life. Like something you're gonna say is gonna really hit a chord with someone, and you're gonna do great." And it meant a lot to me. It was heartwarming. Saturday. But then of course the rest of the weekend went on and I'm doubting myself. Well, literally 30 minutes before I'm going to talk, I'm at my little booth. We're all just hanging around waiting. A guy comes up and he proceeds to tell me that my little commercial that I did, just that little bitty thing, he hadn't watched my videos, he wasn't a subscriber yet, just my little talk that I did, introducing who I am and that I'll be there. He said it hit a chord with him, and he realized that he was living life wrong. And we proceeded to talk, and it actually got a little emotional, and I hugged him because like that's me, you know. Him getting emotional, I had to hold back me getting emotional, but it was an absolute amazing experience, and I did not expect it. So that just fueled me. It made me so ready for my talk. And he helped me out a tremendous amount, just like he said I helped him out. And that is just one of the most amazing things that has ever happened to me in my life. So when we got back home, Jess texted me and she was like, "How'd the talk go?" And I was talking to her. And I told her about the guy, and I said, "Do you ever get used to someone telling you that you made a difference in their life?" And she said no. She's like, "You don't get used to it." And then I proceeded to say, "Well, I just want to let you know you made a difference in my life too as well, and thank you." And but it's just like it really assured me that I was doing the right thing for this talk. So without any further ado, now that Wade's here, Daddy, we can introduce my talk and my speech. Enjoy it. My name is Jesse Bickley. I'm with Willowbrook Homestead. That's the name of my homestead and my YouTube channel. And we are going to speak about envy on the homestead and how like there's just no point in it. There's no place
the only green that you don't want on your homestead. And how I came to this event right now, speaking about it, is because of YouTube. I put a video out. So this is the second Farm Where You Live event. The first one I was not able to make, and my friend Charlie, who is actually speaking over there, we have a podcast as well called More on Homestead, and we were there. We were going to be there for that. I was not able to make it, and this one came up. We weren't going to do More on Homesteading again, so I was just going to be myself. I was going to come regardless, but I had this feel, like this feeling of envy. I was like, I felt left out. All my other homesteading friends are here. They have something they're talking about, like they're doing their chicken stuff. Or some of our other friends, she was really knowledgeable about rabbits. There's more friends here that working on the homestead. You know, they all had a niche. They all had something that they were talking about. And I'm doing YouTube not to be well known or famous. I'm doing it to share our journey, but I do also still want to contribute. I want to offer something to people. My biggest thing, and I'm not like tooting my horn, but I tend to be pretty funny. But it's also who I am. I've always believed in being yourself and not letting anyone else tell you who to be or how to be. So I sat down and I pretty much poured my heart out on a video about like how I feel left out. I feel envious of my friends. But I also talked about how I shouldn't feel this way, because we're all in a different path. We all started differently. We all have different budgets, different jobs, different personalities. We're all different. I have a pretty good relationship on YouTube. I have great followers. People comment, they reassure me. And so that's pretty much what happened with that video. I got bombarded with comments from people saying, talk about that. Talk about the envy. Talk about how you feel. Because somebody else could feel the same way. And so I'm thinking, okay, sure, why not? You know, this was months back, and I'm an overthinker, but then I also underthink. And so I was excited. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. All right. So I got in touch with the coordinator and yeah, signed up. But I waited to say anything on YouTube because I was scared. I was like, what if I don't do it? Like, why might I do it? You know, I might, like, why? But everybody who I surround myself with was like, you're gonna be great. You're gonna do a good job. All subscribers said the same thing. You're gonna do a good job. Just talk from the heart. You might hit a nerve with somebody that needs to hear it and understand it. So that's why we're here right now. Talk about I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that this is not a talk of how to beat envy, because I've been here for this is the second day. It's the end of the day. I've had to go for the last 2 days watching everybody sell books, get talked to, people come up to them and know who they are, and all the good stuff, and it weighed on me. And I had to continuously bring myself back. So this is not a talk to y'all, this is a us talk. I'm talking to myself as well, because I have to continuously bring myself back from talking myself down. Because I'll do it. I could have easily just been like, you know what? We're not gonna do the talk. I don't think it's worth it. But about 20 minutes ago, a guy came up to me and said he's here because I'm here. And it was not because he followed me on YouTube, but because of the commercial I did on the Farm Where You Live event. Facebook, she posted it, and it hit a chord with him about envy. And he shared a story with me, and it reassured me that I'm here for a reason. And so, a little bit of myself. We just started homesteading this past year. It's been a full year now of homesteading and videoing. we grew up, myself and my wife, we both grew up around like animals, so we just never raised our own animals for meat or really did the gardening stuff. So we really just started. When we started, we had the awesome opportunity. If y'all know who Jess and Jeremiah are, Roots and Refuge Farm, they moved to South Carolina, about 30 minutes down the road from us. I had the opportunity to go out there and help them, and I was put on their channel. Just like that. Bam! Subscribers. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I got people wanting to see me. But now I'm like, crap, now I gotta start doing stuff. Like, I'm like, I need to have content. I need to give you something, a reason to watch me. So, what do you start doing whenever you homestead? You start building infrastructure. You start buying animals. You start doing stuff. Buy a canner. You start getting all the things that you need, right? And that's where I made a mistake. That was our first big mistake was we jumped into it and didn't allow ourselves to process what we were doing. So I was making videos, I was growing, people were talking to me. Thought I was about to be attacked. That happens. And so, but I wasn't getting the traction that I wanted. You know, I wanted YouTube to get me out of my job, right? I wanted to stay at home. I want to homestead full time, raise the animals, grow the animals, do the thing, right? Do what Jess and Jeremiah are doing. I told Jeremiah the other day, I said, listen, it's hard to be your friend. This is because you see where they're at. They've got the acreage, they've got the equipment, the animals, the YouTube. They've got what I want. And not that I'm coveting what they have, but they're where I want to be. The best thing I did was I went all the way back. I went to their channel, went all the way back to the very first video and watched their journey. If any of y'all have followed them that long, then you know. But they started where I was. They were broke. They didn't have everything. They started. They picked the camera up, they made a video, and they kept going. They made some mistakes, they had some things go wrong, and that humbled me because even though I started late, I know that I can get there by being consistent, going slow. And so that's a big part of it, is like enjoy the journey. Enjoy going slow. Enjoy the mistakes, because you know we all make them. I planted my tomatoes way too early this year. I failed in that aspect. Huh?
How early?
I went through 2 frosts. Yeah. I failed, right? But it gave me an opportunity to not only fail and show people, but I was able to find ways to keep them alive and keep going. We harvested a lot of tomatoes. I canned them. We made salsa. We made pasta sauce. We ate them off the vine. Kids ate them. They lived. So even though I started early, and I failed in that aspect because it was way too early, I was able to then fail forward. I know now, when I start them for the spring, not to do it that early. I got excited. I was like, I'm doing it. Well, oh, people, let's make a video. Let's put it out there. Let's do it. All my stuff. And I was able.
You learned something that wasn't a failure.
That's right. But I made a video talking about it, where I talk just like now. I explain the fact that like I do air quotes on purpose, that I failed. I messed up. But there's someone out there that's going to look up the same thing that I did. I planted my tomatoes too early. How can I protect my potatoes against frost? I did a video on it. That's going to help someone, but they also are going to learn that like, let's not go through this again. But the fact that I'm here, I know how to get past it. So it's definitely difficult to see everybody succeeding. I didn't do it. It's just an ambush. It's definitely difficult to see the people around you succeeding. But what's more difficult is being alone while everyone else is succeeding. So, along with envy and how it's not a good place, it's not something that you want on your homestead, you need to understand that the people that you surround yourself with on your homestead and doing homesteading stuff is very important. Because yes, I'm behind everyone else that I surround myself with, but there's also people watching me who are behind me. There's always someone that wants what you've got. There's always something better that you're going to want. And you just have to take your time, enjoy the process. You don't have to be the best. You don't have to be perfect, because that's all a part of the learning process. Is Tony Hawk said, I've got notes, but I'm a shoot from the hip kind of guy, so I've actually touched on a good bit of this anyways. But I've got a quote. If you know who Tony Hawk is, he's a pro skateboarder. I used to skateboard back in the day, so I love the guy. He said, like, don't worry about being the best, enjoy the process, try things, and revolutionize new things. And that hit me when I saw it. I was just watching this documentary on Netflix, and it hit me because I was preparing for this. And I'm like, man, that's a great thing. Like, if you know anything about him, he was a little skinny kid, little thing, couldn't get a lot of air, couldn't do the tricks that all the bigger guys are doing. So he revolutionized new tricks to get him progressed, to get him forward. And that's what we can all do, is just because someone does it a certain way does not mean it's better than yours. It worked for them, that's great. You could do something that works for you, and it did what it needed to do. I don't have great woodworking skills where I can, or the attention to detail where I'm making like these chicken coops that are amazing, like these little condos. Like, there's nothing around here right now, but what I did, I used cattle panel and some 2x6s and made a hoop house, like everybody knows how to do. Everybody's seen a hoop house, right? I mean, easy. The Stivers Homestead, they made a greenhouse out of it. Used that idea and made a chicken coop out of it. The first one I did, my dog ate half of it. So, what'd I do? All right, let's put tin across the bottom. Replace the tarp. Now it's doing great. Now the goat started eating it. Okay, well, now I have to replace the tarp again. But it didn't have to be fancy. I still did it. It still got me my chickens. My chickens are making me eggs. I'm selling eggs. We're eating eggs. We have fresh eggs. So just because it's not like what you see on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everything, doesn't mean it's not worth it. It doesn't mean that I can't one day. It's nothing saying that I'm not one day gonna be that dude that I walk in here, like you got the hollers here. I don't know if y'all know the hollers from the Holler Homestead. I'm not them. I could be one day, but people are gonna stop and wanna take pictures and talk to me and ask my advice. I could be standing up on the main stage like Joel. But right now, I'm doing this. Just because I don't have everybody sitting quiet waiting to hear what I have to say, y'all are here. And I'm greatly appreciative of that. I'm doing the first step. They might have more people over there. I'm very happy for them. I'm very happy for all my friends that are here doing the thing. I'm happy for myself because I was extremely nervous and scared. I mean, like, very. My heart gets all pounded and face gets red. It's red now. I forget what I'm talking about. I can go on a rant, all kinds of good stuff. I'm gonna have to look at my notes for just a second. Yep, I said that. So I've got learning to do. I'm not perfect at talking with people. If we were just at my tent, sitting down, I'm going to talk to you the same way I'm talking to you now, because that's who I am. I'm not going to be different because there's a camera there, and then when you meet me, I'll be somebody else. It's about being yourself. Don't worry about what the other person's doing. Someone's going to be better than you. There's always somebody better than you. I've heard that my whole life. Why it never really kicked in, still doesn't. But there's also somebody that's going to look up to you. There's always somebody that's going to learn from you. And it's great to hear the stories. It's great to see the comments of people being like, we watch you. I said one time, why do you watch me? I think it was in that same video. It actually was. That's the truth. I was talking about being envious, and I said, why does anybody watch me? Like, why are you watching me? Why are you here? And people reassure me. They're like, well, because you're not too far ahead of us. We like to watch the big YouTubers because we're invested in their life, because we've seen it so much. But they can't do what they're doing. They can do what I'm doing. And that keeps people together. Keeps people from being envious. Excuse me. Keeps people from being burnt out and wanting to quit because, oh, I can't get the John Deere tractor. I've got to use my wheelbarrow. I've got 2 huge piles on my property, though it's only 2 acres. My garden's over here. My piles of wood chips are over here. I've got to use a wheelbarrow. Is it tough? Absolutely. Have I called my neighbor multiple times to see if I could use his tractor, and every time it's broken? Sure. Do I believe it's broken? No, because I've seen it put on the trailer. But it's just that. I'm not going to let it affect me because someone has something I don't. One day I'll have it because I'm going to work towards it. You have to enjoy the process. Enjoy going slow. Take your time. Learn what you can, because you don't know that if you hurry up and you get all this stuff, you could have missed an opportunity that's going to take you over here that you could make more money, or it could take you to where you want to go quicker than it took you to do this. You don't know what you're traveling yet. You just have to trust in God to know that the path that you're on is the right path. He's not gonna lead you astray. He's not gonna give you everything you want immediately, but he's gonna open up and show you something that's going to allow you to then take the reins and get you to where you need to go. And so you have to remember that. We have to remember that when it comes to surrounding yourself with the community as well. Is if you're envious of someone, you're not going to like them. You're not going to like what they're doing. If every time I went over to Justin Jeremiah's house and I'm sitting there upset because they just got some more cows, or they just built this huge, beautiful barn, I'm thinking, man, like, why can't I have that? Why can't I have that? They're not going to want me around because I'm not going to be in a good mood. But if I talk to them and say, yo, whatever you need, I'm here for you. Call me. You need help building something? I'm there for you. They're going to do the same thing, because that's how you build community. I did a little series on my channel where I traveled around to different South Carolina homesteads and just interviewed them. The timing was kind of weird because it was during fall, so nobody had really too much stuff going on. But I built some of the best relationships by just going to their house and showing what they're doing. Not to it wasn't even to learn anything. It wasn't to learn how they're doing something. It was only to show people that there's homesteaders in South Carolina and to help them. Because I was given a gift of subscribers. And so I'm doing the best I can to then share the people I'm able to share. And do the same thing that Justin Jeremiah did for me. The same thing, meeting the people I've met. Through them, I've got a lot of people that have my back, that I talk to. Hey, I got a question. I got a dude over here, this little guy. I love that little guy. I met them through Jess and Jeremiah. I don't even remember what happened. How we even started talking. We did. Well, I'm talking about like what I can't remember what happened where you were like, hey, anything you need, talk to me, and we just started talking back and forth.
Oh, I know when you were on the Leonard Plus thing, you said you had already always kind of struggled with having community with men.
That's right.
Me too. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that.
Right. So I was on Wilder Still, and I talked about that. Talked about a huge struggle of mine when we first started homesteading. Actually, before I was not in a good spot. I wasn't in a good place. I didn't have community. I didn't feel like God had my back. Had a lot of resentment. I feel like this table's gonna break. Had a lot of resentment, and so I shared it because that's what Jeremiah asked me to share it for it. And he reached out to me and was like, anytime you need something, I'm here for you. It's hard for dudes to talk to people. It's hard to let your emotions out. Am I wrong? I am wrong?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Yep. Well, you know what? Let's go to a different story. And so it's hard. But I made the effort to if he would text me, I would text him back. Because we all get into doing what we're doing. Our phones will go off. Hey man, how you doing? And you're just like, that was close. That was close. That tree does not like you.
Aren't you glad you bent over to pick up a watermelon?
I'm just glad God's looking out for you.
That's right. But we'll get to doing what we're doing, and you don't want to share your feelings. You don't want to say, hey man, I'm not feeling too great right now. Not that you're sick, but it's like I got a lot of stuff waiting on me. Like I feel like I'm failing my family. I feel like I need another job. I feel this. It's hard for us to say I feel. And he gave me the opportunity to do that. He gave me the opportunity to be that person. And so therefore I'm that same person for him. I'd put a video out. It was uploaded for 2 minutes. And he started texting me, yelling at me. Why didn't you text? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you talk to me first? I needed a video. But it's great to have that. It's great to have that community. Charlie's the same way. He's not a big talker on the phone, but when we get together in person, it'll be everything. We will talk about everything. They pushed me even more to do this right now than anyone. Because even though my subscribers said the same thing, they were like, hey, you should talk about this. It was really them that was like, absolutely. There was no questions asked. It was an immediate, you can do it, you're going to do great at it, you've got things to say, be yourself and do it. Okay, I'm going to do it all day, yesterday and today, same thing. They've had to. I've been beating myself up. My wife's been doing the same thing. She's basically like, shut up. You're going to do it. You're going to do great. So yeah, it's very important to make sure that you surround yourself with the right people. But also remember that even though those people are right for you, you're not going to be on the same level as them. You might be the one up here. And these people are helping to keep you up here. But you also need to understand that you need to bring yourself to their level to help support them. Let them know that they're worth it. That they're worth it. I almost cussed. I'm sorry. I know, I caught myself. It was great. But having that reassurance, especially as men, is important. It's very important for us to be able to talk about stuff. I'm not saying like you gotta shed tears. It's not everybody's like that. But when you don't feel well, when you feel like something's weighing on you, like just talk about it. That's one of the biggest things I wanted to portray in my YouTube was the fact that I want to be real. I've talked to Jess many times where she's like, I wish I could talk about something that you just talked about, but because I've gone so far without letting myself talk that way, I can't. And that sounds like envy. Someone so big is envious of me because I can talk and say things, and it's not like she's not saying that she wishes she can cuss. It's just like there's certain things that because of where she is, she can't talk about. Politics or even feeling a certain way. She feels like she can't do that. So I'm not letting myself get to that point. I'm going to be real, and if you watch me, you're watching me for me. I'm going to tell you if I'm not feeling great. I'm going to tell you, I mean, most of the time I try to be funny. I feel like I succeed pretty well at that. No. According to other people, I'm hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. But, let me get to I think I got one last one. Where are we at with time? 25 minutes. That's pretty good. I know I can't go an hour. Okay. So if y'all want to talk to me, we can talk to each other. It's great too. But I also got, my wife told me, she said, you need to write that on white paper so you can see it. Well, it's also sticky paper, so it's stuck together. You want me to go back to the intro? No. Okay. Good. Good on the intro. Yeah, I pretty much talked on everything on my notes. I mean, like, legit. That's great. I feel great about myself right now. I really do. Thank y'all for sticking around. You didn't leave halfway through, even though we haven't got to the halfway point yet.
Half hour's on, not even halfway through.
We got this. I got some notes in here. Hold on. Nope, pretty much.
Wrap it up and then I'll go see Charlie.
That's right, we'll do that. We'll just like bombard them. Like, hey, we're here to support you, dude. So actually, there was this one quote by Dan Cook. He's a comedian, and it's not so much pertained to what we're talking about, but it really made me think. And he said that there's a fine line between anxiety and excitement. He said it's so fine that you start believing that excitement is anxiety. He's like, do you think you want to back away truly? Or do you think you're excited that you're going to win, but you can't look at everybody and say, hey, I'm going to win? I like that. Because it's true. You get so excited that you get scared that it's not right. I was super excited to do this. I was super scared. And I won. Because y'all are here still. Not saying that you would be rude and walk away. Whatever. But I'll be honest, I didn't. I mean, like, who am I? Jesse Bickley, I'm on a piece of paper. Jesse Bickley, talking about envy on the homestead. Why would I think somebody would show up? But that's my own self-doubt. That's the man right there I was talking about earlier, who came up to my tent and made this day, this whole weekend worth it. And he didn't even watch any of my videos. It was that one commercial that touched something in him that brought him here. And even if he was the only person sitting here, I'd have still done this talk because I know that I was supposed to. I'd have looked at the camera a lot more because this will be up on YouTube. Because also there's other people out there that wanted me to film this. And I can't let them down. Because people believe in me. And having that support, people to believe in you, is truly important. So I'm going to end it there. I really have nothing else to keep on about. I'm going to try to do better. Actually, I will. I will do better. I enjoyed this talk. I think I want to keep doing talks. But no, so I've got things to learn, right? I wasn't the best. I'm not even 100% sure what I talked about. Might have blocked out there. But sometimes I hear the best speakers do that. They don't even know what they're talking. Like, they know what they're talking about, but like they don't remember talking about. So, got some learning to do. I got learning to do with homesteading. I look forward to becoming an expert on something, so the next time you see me, we'll talk an hour, and it'll change your lives.
Hope y'all enjoyed that talk. I know it kind of stopped. My camera like only records for so long, and then it'll stop or something, and then so Chassie had to restart or start it back. So I'm hoping. I did the best I could. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you for pushing me, and we'll catch you in the next one.